Hi, DIY Life Hack Mama with a soap cutting video. Now I did this, guys, not in your presence. I did this 2 or 3 days ago. It's not highly scented, and it is cocoa butter, shea butter, coconut oil, and this particular one has lard in it. And I did it hot process, the typical hot process way, which is labor intensive to say the least. But it's quick, and all you have to do, since you're forcing it through the gel stage in hot process, you just let the water evaporate. That's what you're doing. This is the evaporation process. So today we're going to unmold, and this one too. And this one is soft. I had to put this one in the wooden mold. This was hot process too. Now this is 25% shea butter, coconut oil, cocoa butter, canola oil. Because actually canola oil is good for your skin, so I prefer to use canola oil rather than olive oil or vegetable oil. The vegetable oil is soybean oil, and olive oil extends the cure rate for soap. That's why it takes olive oil soap 6 months to a year to cure. So either that is made. Let's get to this. Now these are just drawer dividers I got from the dollar store. I actually didn't know what they were. When I see things that make a good soap mold, I get them. I'm just gonna pop it out on my table. You know, soaping is easy cleanup because it's soap. So I just need a damp sponge, but I also need to break the seal. So let's see, which is, a good, I'm just peeling away the wax paper. But when I use these, you got to break the seal without breaking your soap. And hey, I don't know how this is coming out. I'm doing it while you're looking at it when I'm looking at it. That's the excitement of live video. Let's just try to. It's way early, so we won't have my tiny, well, they're not tiny anymore, my little interruptions. Come on, break the seal. Break the seal. You know what? What I normally do is spray the inside or put oil on the inside, even of the plastic ones, so that I don't have to, because I can hear it. I can hear it. I haven't utilized these. No, I take that back. When I made these, I used this mold. It's just that I piled it on top. Yeah, it's Lux True soap. I finally got some labels together. I made several bars of soap since I talked to you guys. Remember this one when I forgot to put the scent in a part of it? It smells really good. And Tiffany Blue. Tiffany Blue has a label too. And it's called Tiffany Blue. Yeah. Back to the matter at hand. Yeah, everything's stacked up on my table. You guys can watch me struggle with this. Now, I put castor oil in both of these batters because I like what castor oil does to soap. I do. I hope I didn't ruin this mold, because I stick this in the wooden mold so that the sides don't bulge out because, you know, soap gets hot and whatnot. This soap is awfully soft. And it's been sitting here 3 days. This is hot process. And I only put, what, 1% castor oil? You know, something in the back of my mind is telling me to leave it alone. You know, soap comes out when soap comes out. I'm not in a huge rush for it. And something is saying, leave it alone. You're going to tear it up because it's soft. Which is why I like to take it out of the mold so it can dry. Okay, I'm going to follow the little voice is telling me to leave it alone. And I'm going to sit it here, suspend it, and let, how can I suspend it without actually using force to put it back, to push it back? Oh, okay, here we go. Okay, maybe not. Disfiguring my mold. Okay. Yeah, what it needs to do is I need to wait. It's sticky because I also put glycerin in it. Let's see if we can get this one out. Yeah, I'm going to have the same problem with this one. Now, I'm telling you, when you spray these plastic molds, this is a little bit better. Or maybe it's just going to take more than 3 days. You know, it is humid. And this one is soft. So let's just use this one as an example. This is the one that doesn't have lard in it. It has 12% cocoa butter, 25% shea butter, coconut oil, castor oil, canola oil. So let's just peel the paper away. Yeah, you're just peeling it away. That's why this, using the wax paper and the simple wood mold. Yeah. Now what you can do, you can put the soap in the freezer and then let it come up to room temperature and pop it out. Well, maybe not room temperature. You can see I don't use that method, but I have done it to get it out of plastic molds because I don't make, what's the name of it? I don't make melt and pour. I tried to make melt and pour from scratch. When I saw all the different things you had to put in it, I just quickly changed my mind. I just didn't want to do it. Because my goal here is just to get a good soap that's kind to my skin. See, this is so soft. This is so soft. It just ran into this cord and it left a mark. If these were for sale, I'd have a problem. These are so soft. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm mashing this soap back up there because when it hardens, you know, it's going to harden in place. So for now, let's just keep this. I don't want to handle this too much. It's very soft. It's very soft. I'm leaving fingerprints in it. So you can imagine what it's going to be to cut. That's the thing. This seems harder. This, not so much. Well, we're just going to see. Matter of fact, we're just stick it in like this. Handling it as less as possible. Yeah, maybe I'll come back and we can do this another day. We can do this another day, boys and girls, because this is not working out for me. Not the way I thought it would. Now, we all know I like my 1-inch bars. And that is, I'm sorry, 1.5. I like my 1.5-inch bars, and yeah, that's going to take a longer cure. It's more to cure. And since this is for me, I don't mind about end cuts and whatnot. These are, I mean, this would be too expensive to sell. with all those, with all of those oils, cocoa butter as an oil to purchase is extremely expensive to me, because I paid $35 for 5 pounds, something like that. And to me, that's pretty expensive when you're not making any sales. Now, yeah, I like my soap this big, and it's sticky and it's soft because I added extra glycerin to it. So that's like adding extra water. So I'm just gonna have to wait. If I want to see this soap do something other than it's doing right now, which is being sticky, I'm just gonna have to wait. Now I don't know if you can see this, but I like botanicals. But I like botanicals that blend in. I don't want big pieces of flour stuck to my skin. So I put calendula and this one, calendula and lavender in this one. And it's like, this will cure faster. The water will wick out faster if I could cut the loaf. It will. But it's going to be sticky. And as you see, this is going to be, this is going to take a while to cure. It's hot, it's humid, and environment has something to do with it. There's a lot of humidity in the air. Like this would it would cost too much. The consumer would not. I've overextended my price point. My customer base would not want to pay as much as these 1.5-inch thick bars would cost, because I could not sell this for $6. Okay, I can't sell this for $6 a bar. There are some soaps way more expensive than $6. I've seen soap for $9 a bar, and I couldn't tell you what was in it. It was on Amazon, and this one man swears by it. And I was like, well, whatever works for you. And see, by it being more square, I can get the labels around it. I found when I piled it up, the labels that I have, my handmade labels, my kitchen-made labels, they don't really fit well. But I'd be good to find those. Because I'm running out of about 40 pounds of coconut oil, 2 years ago. Oops. And I'm finally running out. And I don't know if I'm going to rebuy any more soap supplies, because I'm running out of fragrance, my favorite fragrances. I now know that I can just stick with my favorites, because I don't use the other ones that much. Like, other people like it, but if they're not buying it, then there's no need to invest any of my time or resource into what other people like if they're not buying it. So yeah, this is sticky. I added, this is 3 pounds, 64 ounces of oil. And I added glycerin, because when you soak with shea butter and cocoa butter and coconut oil, they tend to be very drying in a soap. And you will need to adjust your super fat. So if you don't know how to use a soap, a lye calculator, you need to familiarize yourself with the lye calculator to free yourself up from other people's recipes. Because I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to stop right here, because I don't want to destroy my loaf. And it is clear. Look how thick that bar of soap is. Grandma's pot. That's like the Clampets. That's like Granny Clampett's soap. but it's shea butter and cocoa butter and canola oil and coconut oil. I'm going to leave that there. And I'm going to leave this here. Because it's hard on the top. And I broke the seal so some more air can get in there. So yeah, we're going to do that, because if I force this, that's the one thing about soap. You got to know what you're doing if you're forcing it. Soaping, to me, making soap it's kind of like alchemy, because you're taking fats and you're mixing an alkaline with it and some water, and you're getting soap. A whole nother monster there. Okay. See, what will happen, let me bring you a little closer while we can talk before the cheering get up. This is still stuck inside of here for several reasons. I use glycerin. It is humid. It is not, enough moisture has not wicked out. See, what happens when you dry soap, aged soap, it's drying out, the water is going out of it. Little invisible molecules of moisture, it's going away from this. And as the water wicks out, it will shrink. And that's how you know it's time to take it out of the mold. I'm a bit premature. And if you use wax paper or a silicone mold that you can pull away, then you can go ahead and move in and get your soap cut, because by it being cut, it will cure even faster once you cut the loaf. But if the loaf is too soft to handle, once you take it out, maybe you just leave it there. And it's like, because air is circulating all around it, it's out of the mold, it will cure up or harden up quicker, just quicker. And that was my goal today. The only thing is that you really should just take it out the mold. Don't cut it, because if you do, you're going to have drag marks from your cutter. I'm looking at mine right now. And I like to keep good soaping habits, even if I know the soap is just for me. And I know this soap is going to take, this soap is going to take about maybe a week or two before I can actually cut it. And I'm anxious to use it, because it doesn't have any active lye in it. I'm just waiting for it to dry out and shrink down. Because this soap here, it would soften like that too. And after a while, you know, time is your friend. So time is your friend. So I'm gonna let you guys go, because the more I have this in my eyesight, the more I'm gonna want to skedaddle with it, and that should not be what I'm doing. And it's probably a tip or a trick or a secret that I've not picked up on. But I could also just leave it alone, because sometimes it's best just to leave your soap alone. And I'm not going to put it in the freezer. I'm just going to leave it alone, and it's going to shrink. It's going to shrink as the water leaves it. It's going to shrink. And then I'll be able to take this. See, I told you, the more I have my hands on it, I'm not going to leave it alone. But I do want to get some air. I want to break the seal. There. And push on the bottom. And it's sticky. That's the thing working with when you use glycerin. I put extra glycerin in it. You just have to wait, because glycerin is like water, and it makes its own glycerin, so it has extra glycerin in it. So, you know, I know a lot of people don't like dealing with that, but to me, the end result is what matters. I need to have a good soap on my skin, and if I make the soap right and it's good enough, I won't have to use lotion when I get out of the bath and shower. Sometimes I might forget or I'm in a hurry, but guess what? I make my own lotion. So I've actually seen that stuff heal skin, heal a scar. Just all the stuff that on the web, but they say what oils are good for this and that. I just dumped them all in that lotion and followed standard lotion making um, instructions. And that was it. And I have more than enough. I won't have to make lotion until like Christmas. And it soaks in really good. It's not too oily. It's not watery. And so when you get out your bath or shower, you could put that on. And to me, it's better than commercial lotion because it doesn't burn. Now, ask me why I know it commercial lotion can burn, because I have eczema, and if I have a flare up and I'm stupid, if I'm really really stupid, I will take an object to scratch at that rash. I haven't been stupid in a really long time. But I do remember about 6 or 7 years ago, there was a rash and I scratched at it with a brush, which was the wrong thing because hair aggravates my eczema. And it was a mess. And I'm like, somebody's going to have to go to the dermatologist looking stupid like a 12-year-old girl again, you know. Don't scratch at the rash. Anyway, I didn't have any lotion. And a little bit that I did, I found that if I put it on the rashy spot, it burned. So something said, just see if you can make your own lotion. And I found all these soap making videos. Eventually, I found a lotion making video. And that's when I started making soap and lotion. And it's mostly just for me. I think my nieces, they might use it. I think my brother might use it. My dad, my mom. I was told that it's good to shave with. Especially, shea butter, cocoa butter, coconut oil, of course. It's good. The homemade soap, my True Soap, Lux True Soap, it's good to shave with. Even this is not as many free oils in it as normal as I usually go. I go high super fat soaps, which are difficult to manage sometimes. But yeah, all of the soaps, any True Soap that's more than 5% super fat, I can't do that. Any True Soap should be good to shave with. But I've been told these are good shaving soaps. And so I know they have shaving cream and shaving soaps and all kind of cream soaps and different things. I'm like, no, I got other stuff that I got to do. And my table is already crowded with stuff. Yeah, that's enough stuff. And I'm trying to reduce the amount of stuff. So I'm labeling and boxing up all of my soaps so that in the rare case that someone might want to buy it, it would be presentable to sell instead of just handing it to them like, that's silly. I even got a little, some colorful tissue to put it in the bag. Here, it's like a little experience. So, yeah, we're going to go. Happy Friday, everyone. It's very hot out. And as you see, I'm like a dog with a bone over here. I don't know why. I can't take no for an answer. Jeez. And it's like, if I'm not careful, I'm going to tear the bottom out of my soap. You guys can't see this, but it's in there. It's in there. Because I was in a hurry I was doing other stuff, and you should never do that when you soap. I was in a hurry, and I forgot to spray the inside of my plastic mold. Because these aren't soap molds. These are drawer dividers. But I like the shape, and I've used them before. And what has to happen is that I need to be patient and let the more of the air wick out. And as long as I put this in one of my wooden molds to keep the shape. They work fine, and they clean up really well. And they're reusable. So yeah, we're gonna go because I can see how I might run into an issue. But at least, I don't know if you can see, if I'm opening it like this, more air can get in. I can see the bottom. More air can get in there. Air is my friend when it comes to curing soaps. It's because you need air, and they don't need to be sitting in direct sunlight. So I made a little bit of a mess here. Go visit my blog, DIY Life Hack Mama. I curate my blog with DIY life hack things from all over the web, mostly Facebook. And I repost them on my blog because they're helpful. So we'll come back maybe in a week. Yeah. And see about my soap. And today's Friday. Maybe we'll come back Wednesday or something like that. Here's the thing. I am, with this soap right here, I don't actually know how long it's going to cure because, like I said, I put the glycerin in there. Now, I only put 1.5 ounces extra glycerin in each because I know if you put too much glycerin, if you put too much castor oil, you're going to have a mess. It's going to be too soft, and it's going to take an extra long time to cure. So we'll just see Wednesday. We'll see Wednesday if the soap wants to behave. And yeah, I could put a fan on it. And that will speed up definitely. And also I need to keep it out the sun. I might put a fan on it. Put a fan on it and come back Sunday and see if it works. Because as of yet, I've not destroyed anything. It's a little sticky because it's a little sticky. When you have high super fat soaps and you're putting, botanicals and glycerin, it's going to behave differently than a 5% straight out soap. 5% super fat's not a lot to me. I mean, but even a 5% super fat soap is better than, it's like it frees your skin. To me, it's like a shell had been taken off my skin. And it was just all kind of moisture. And I've bought glycerin soaps before out of the store. I've bought them before, and they were drying. And I never understood why. When you buy a clear glycerin soap, you actually need alcohol to make it clear. Some people use grain alcohol, and some people use rubbing alcohol. But at any rate, alcohol to make a clear soap. So this soap is like packed with glycerin, and glycerin adds a tackiness to your soap. And to avoid having to deal with all of that, it just requires an extra long wait time before you use it, because if you don't wait, it will melt away a whole lot quicker. Now the only other thing is that the botanicals. I don't think the botanicals actually make a difference. It's just calendula petal and lavender in the cocoa butter one, and then just calendula petal in the shea butter one. One is shea butter 20. They're both 25% shea butter, which, like I said, it can be drying. But I added cocoa butter to the other one because of my FaceTime soap. I don't know exactly what I put in FaceTime, but I know that it, has a great deal of cocoa butter in it. And I watched a woman made an experiment, 100% soaps. Cocoa butter did not lather. Shea butter did not lather. Of course, coconut oil lathers, but you have to make such a wide superfat adjustment for that. because it will be like laundry soap. It's extremely drying. So I just remembered what I'd learned along the way. And I kept that in mind, and I adjusted my superfat. And like I said, I soap at high superfats, and that can make it really difficult for the soap to come together as a solid and have an INS that falls within range. Because at some point, if you have a soap and the INS, like if you use the soap cap, I was told if the INS doesn't fall within range, it's not technically soap. Well, my INS always falls within range, and I'm going to suggest this one more time, one more again. Learn the soap calculator so that you are freed from everyone else's recipe. If you actually like to make soap and you're not thinking that, oh, I'm just going to do it and make a profit. Okay, well, if you actually like to make soap, a hobbyist, something like that, learn the soap calculator. I think Essential, I can't remember this woman's name or video. I remember the video, I can't remember her name. Maybe the Essential Depot lady, I'm not sure. You're going to have to click around on YouTube like I did. And I found her, and I remember in her video, she sat down, she had a grandbaby on her knee, and I had watched that video, oh my God, about 20, 30 times. I just made it a regular thing to sit and watch the video. Like she sat her grandbaby on her knee, I sat right there too, and I just kept watching and watching, and it just never understood a thing until one day I did. It clicked, because after watching a video, I started going to the soap calculator to look at all the different moving parts, and I was like, oh, I see what she's saying. So that's when I was able to step away from everybody else's recipe, because it's not cool to use somebody else's recipe and then sell it as your own. You know, if you just maybe doing it for your family or something like that, that's different. But that's their intellectual property, their recipe that they made up. I don't know, maybe passed down from grandma, whatever. But, you know, I've been told there's etiquette in soap making. So I wanted to get away from everybody else's recipe. And I use the guidelines, you know, no more than 25% coconut oil, unless you know what you're doing and you adjust your superfat. And I learned that sometimes botanicals can make your soap brown. So why are you wasting your non-discoloring vanilla on a soap that you dumped live plant matter into and now it's brown? You can just use regular. And I have a brown soap. All my soaps were brown for a very long time because I either overcooked them or I put regular vanilla in there, and it turned it brown. And no, these are not my favorite soaps. That's why I still have this. See how thin it is. You know, my favorite soaps are soaps like these. Tiffany Blue. And yeah, my brother said something about my Tiffany Blue. He said the top looked like something. And I'm going to leave that where it is. See, this is actually pretty nice. And you can turn it this way and slap a label on there. Yeah, I didn't do that. I still put the labels on the wrong way, good horizontally. Now this is FaceTime. And I'm not going to sell this to anybody. I know it's for sale on my Etsy shop. These are not leaving my home. Unless someone, you know, asks me for it, I'll just give it to them. These aren't leaving me. This soap actually cleared my skin up. And I'd have to go back in my soaping book and to look to see what I put in it. I know I put a hefty amount of cocoa butter in all of those soaps for sale on my Etsy shop. It's www.etsy.com/shop/1966. www.etsy.com/shop shop/1966 1966. Anyway, it's called FaceTime. And after I use this monstrous thing, Yeah, this is not kind to my skin. It made my skin rough, and I don't know if it's because it was sloughing off, but it's got charcoal, it's got bentonite clay, and it's got calahist in it. So I guess if you had an issue with plant life or mosquitoes or what have you, you could probably use this. But if you have any type of skin sensitivity, I would not. With anything, if it bothers you, let it go. I made this, and if it bothered me, I let it go. Now, I wash my hands with it, possibly. But other people who have normal skin, they can use this, and they find it delightful. And it's soothing. Go figure. But this right here, this actually cleared my skin up after I messed it up with that other bar. Yeah. My skin got really, really rough. I immediately stopped using it, and I rub this on my face. I rub it on my face because that's only good stuff in here. I'm talking about sweet almond oil and stuff like that. Very expensive oils that if you nobody's going to produce this for you because it costs too much to make. And so it would cost too much to sell. You'd have to be wealthy to buy these. I know that. That's what people are like, whoa, your soaps cost too much. And I'm like, if I just made a simple lard soap, fine. It would be, what, $5, $3, something like that. But these aren't simple lard soaps. And I don't know where you're going to go to find a 100% coconut oil soap that's not going to dry your skin out. Coconut oil in soap can be very dry, and that's why you don't put more than 25%. Now, have I used yeah, I've definitely used more than 25% because I want the benefits of the coconut oil. Yes, I do. So I adjust my super fat. Now, you better study up because I read and studied a lot of stuff before I started fooling with the good oils. It's like jewelry making. Starting out with 24 karat or 14 karat. You start out with a nickel and whatever. You start out with things that aren't expensive for in jewelry making because you can make some mistakes. So after I learned how to fix, I knew I was ready to graduate to big girl oils when I learned how to fix a mistake. When something had riced up on me, and I remember this lady said, I beat it and I beat it until it came together. So that's what I did. I beat it. Then I messed up my lye solution. Oh my God, I messed it. I was thinking and I was doing other stuff. Yeah, I was thinking. I was doing other stuff. So I had to calculate in my mind and just look at the texture of it. I had to bake another little, I think I used an ounce at a time. I used a half ounce, and small amounts of water until my soap came together. I had forgotten to put an amount of lye in. And this one here, I almost messed that up, doing other stuff and, caring for the household and all that. I thought I was going to make one big container. I don't know what I was thinking because it doesn't make sense. They have different super fat values. The soap with the lard in it has a higher super fat, a lower super fat. The soap with the cocoa butter has a higher super fat. Because I needed it to be, moisture. I needed the profile of the oils to be helpful to my skin. Now, both soaps are very cleansing because of the amount of coconut oil I put in there. And I just didn't come up with this, and I didn't get this from anybody else. I had to trial and error figure out what will make it cleansing, but yet you need it to be bubbly, and you need it to be conditioning, because conditioning, bubbly, and cleansing, three different things. Now the bubbly and the cleansing, yeah, they can walk together, but it's not going to be that conditioning. So you got to play with it and figure it out. And I always credit the lady, I think it's Essential Depot. She made that video. Oh my God, it opened up a whole new world for me, and I was able to get my soaps my way for me and my skin, and for a few other people who have eczema, people who have skin diseases or have a problem with thick, tough skin like I did. I didn't even know other people had tough skin. My skin was very thick and tough until I started using just my soap. I don't use any other soap. So I don't have, that's a problem. I can scratch off my list because it was an issue. Any health matter is an issue. And, people looking, you got rash. It's just like those psoriasis commercials. That's true. Those psoriasis commercials, when the subject is embarrassed and people are staring, saying that you have leprosy and whatnot and wondering what that is. People can be extremely stupid and ignorant. I could see you not wanting it. Stick your hand in a pussy's rash, yeah. But you don't have to make a spectacle of someone who's already suffering with But people are stupid. And you're wearing long sleeves and pants year round. It's 90, 108 degrees outside and you got on long pants. Well, I don't have to do that anymore. I might be fat, but the rash is gone. Some lifestyle changes. Maybe a little bit less stress, but the rash is gone. But anytime I add those factors back, the rash pops up. Yeah, the hair is covering up a string of rash right here. Too many summertime fruits. Strawberries, tomatoes, lemons, limes. Yeah, pickles. Huge jar of pickles because I like the jar. Yeah, then I had an issue. Usually it's pickles and vinegar. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. I've been babbling for like an hour or something. I don't know. And we're going to set the fan on this, and maybe we can come back Sunday and see if it comes out. And in the meanwhile, I'm just going to have them turn like upside down like that. Or maybe this is what I was thinking. If I set this right here, and I just do that, what do you think? Because, I don't know, I think it's the soap. I want the container. Nah, the soap is resting on it. But at least gravity is not working to keep it in there. And I'm just going to put those like that. What do you guys think? You think that'll do anything? All right. Happy Friday. DIY Life Hack Mama. Yeah, I got soap all over my hands. I told you it was sticky and soft. DIY Life Hack Mama signing out.